Which live-action Batman would be the easiest to beat in a good old-fashioned fight? One-on-one. Well, let me tell you, it ain't the one that you think it is. And I'll be real, the one that's the hardest to beat in the fight also isn't the one that you think it is. No prep time for Batman, nothing. We come across each other on the streets. We're going at it. That's how the fight goes down. With whatever weapons we have available at our disposal and hand-to-hand combat. Who's the easiest to beat? Now, I'm a real-life vigilante in case many of you don't know, or if you're new to the channel. I have extensive experience in fighting on the streets. I've never fought professionally in my life, and I've won very few fights that I have gotten into. But I have a black belt in karate. I have extensive jiu-jitsu experience as well. I will not tell you what belt I have in jiu-jitsu because it's not relevant. I have striking experience, Muay Thai. I use sticks. I'm proficient with my sticks. I use swords too, but I don't. Those are fake, so it doesn't count. Regardless, I will pit myself against the live-action Batmans to see who I could beat. Fair and square. I want to make something very clear for the people who are about to call me delusional. All these Batmans would kill me in a fight, realistically. They'd all beat my ass clean. Some of them would straight up kill me with one punch. We're going to get to those who can and those who would have a bit harder time beating me. They still all beat me, but I'm just saying, hypothetically, maybe there's a chance. We're going to start off with the ones that are the hardest to beat. The hardest Batman to beat in a fight is Michael Keaton's Batman. Don't leave! I know a lot of people are saying, Zaffy, what the fuck are you doing? You know who's supposed to be the hardest. It's Ben Affleck's Batman. I need you to hear me out. We're going to get to Ben Affleck's Batman. This guy doesn't make logical sense. He doesn't comport with reality. And he's even more comic booky than Ben Affleck's Batman, okay? First of all, just like Ben Affleck's Batman, this guy will kill a bitch. He'll kill you in his prime without a second's thought. But prime Michael Keaton Batman is not the thing you're supposed to fear. The thing you're supposed to fear is him when he's old. When he's a grandpa. If you've seen the Flash movie, you know the kind of motherfucker this guy is. This guy manhandles and throws goons 5 feet away. Like they're nothing, okay? He's taken on Kryptonians without a mech suit or kryptonite at his disposal. At least I don't remember there being kryptonite. He's straight up leaping on these people. He's 65 years old, at least in this movie, by the way. He's leaping on them and planting bombs on them and surviving. He survives. Fighting people he has no business fighting. He's the Dominic Toretto of Batman. The older he gets, the stronger he gets, seemingly. He is way more competent in the Flash movie, where he's 70 years old, a grandpa, than he was in his prime years. What the fuck? You're not beating that guy in a fight. I will get killed. I will get my head chopped off by this dude in 2 seconds. Clean. This is the one I'll need all my cocaine to help me for, okay? You guys know it. Ben Affleck's Batman. He's not number one. I think when Michael Keaton is doing what he's doing at 70 years old, I think we can conclude that guy is the hardest to beat. But Ben Affleck's Batman is a destroyer. He's a Goliath. He is a behemoth of nature, okay? The warehouse scene tells you all you need to know about this Batman. You don't want to be in a fight with this man unless you want to be breathing through a tube for the rest of your life. That's the vibe I get from him. He's brutal, he's strong, he's also a peak human, by the way. I think he could take Captain America. I think Ben Affleck's Batman, who's superhuman, could take on Steve Rogers from the MCU. I truly think that. I don't know who'd win. I'd still probably give it to Steve Rogers because Steve Rogers is throwing freaking tornado kicks at Thanos, but still, Ben Affleck's Batman don't fuck around. He's that level of guy. He could probably put up a fight. If GSP, who's normal human GSP, some French captain terrorist, could take on a Captain Winter Soldier, I think Ben Affleck's Batman could give him a run for his money. But that's how strong this dude is. I feel if I was to take at least 2 punches from Ben Affleck's Batman, I would need facial reconstruction surgery immediately. He's the strongest Batman by far, physically. Okay? I don't know if he's the best at fighting. I think Michael Keaton's Batman was doing his... Bro! Michael Keaton's Batman is throwing flipping roundhouse kicks at 70 years old. I know Ben Affleck's Batman is older too, but nowhere near Michael Keaton's age in The Flash, okay? But Ben Affleck's Batman's... This guy's tough. Look what he's doing to dudes. Against Ben Affleck's Batman, especially in BVS, not Justice League. Justice League, he turns into a wuss. I'm talking about BVS Batman, where he has aura still. I would shit myself if I had to fight this dude. Here's the guys that I would get beaten up by pretty badly, but I think I'd survive. I wouldn't get killed outright, just like I would with Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck, okay? George Clooney's Batman. Again, okay, listen, a lot of people are about to run off. Zaffy, what the fuck? George Clooney's Batman is the least intimidating, least aura Batman of all time. First of all, no, there's another Batman who has less aura than him. We're going to get to that. But while he is a silly Batman who isn't intimidating whatsoever, he's also a comic book. If your Batman is a straight up comic book who doesn't comport with reality, I'm not beating you in a fight. I don't know how to beat. This guy's surfing through the air from an explosion. Mr. Freeze nearly bombed him. Freeze in hell, Batman! And he survives by surfing on a piece of metal. I'm not beating him in a fight because he doesn't obey the rules of, like, physics or science, you know, in general. Okay? He has no aura, but he has cartoon energy. He's like a Looney Tunes character. Those are OP as fuck. I'm not beating him in a fight. Simple. And he also has a back credit card. The moment he decides to use that mid-fight when we're fighting, I'm done. Okay? Christopher Nolan's Batman from Batman Begins. Okay? Now, a lot of people will say, this guy belongs last, like the easiest to beat on this list. No. I mean Batman Begins Batman. Is Nolan's Batman in his prime. Young, ferocious, able to take on multiple people at a time. He takes on multiple ninjas at a time, multiple Falcone thugs at a time, fucks them all up. I don't think I'm doing anything to this dude. I don't think I'd die like against Ben Affleck because Nolan's Batman's not as strong. And his fight style's a bit weird, but he's full-on ninja in Batman Begins. I believe he's a ninja in Batman Begins. The rest of the movies, especially TDKR, we're going to get to that, but he's pretty ferocious. I don't want to fight him. And can I just say, I think Batman should look like this whenever he's going out to fight. If he had a mask looking like this, every criminal is not doing crime ever again. I'd shit myself if I saw this dude running at me from a dark alleyway. Why doesn't Batman look more like this? Why doesn't Batman have a mask like Black Panther, where his face is covered? Why do you need your jaw open? I get it, that's what he's always been in the comics, but I'm just saying, like, realistically, he should look like this. Now, these are the people I'd put up a fight against, but I'd still get knocked the fuck out. Val Kilmer's Batman. The problem with him is he's technically the same Batman as George Clooney, but then technically they're the same Batmans as Michael Keaton, since there's continuity there. I'm counting them as different Batman, I don't care. There's no data on him. He doesn't have any feats when it comes to fighting. I actually think Val Kilmer's Batman's underrated. I actually think he has the voice and the Bruce Wayne persona down perfectly. I actually really liked him in Batman and Batman Forever or whatever. But he has no... There's no data on him. I've seen him fight goons here and there, but there's nothing special about his fight style. I don't feel scared of this Batman. I feel like I feel like he would beat me very nicely. You know, I feel like he'd beat me up in a very nice manner. Not like Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck would break every bone in my body, but this dude he'd be cool, you know? I feel like he'd be cool. So, I'm putting him here, but there's no data. Robert Pattinson's Batman. The most realistic Batman on this list, which is why he's so far down here. He'd be way, way, way easier to beat than the rest of them. I'd still get my ass whooped. There's no denying it, of course. 1v1, he pummels dudes. But I've seen him struggle with... I've seen these idiots land shots on him. He got punched by one of these idiots. If they're landing shots on him, so could I. That's all I'm going to say. I know I could whoop one of these dudes pretty easily. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If they're landing shots, so do I. Alright? And I also... There are some Batmans who I think are well-rounded. Like, Ben Affleck's Batman's well-rounded, okay? Michael Keaton's Batman's well-rounded. George Clooney is just a cartoon. I don't think Robert Pattinson could stuff a takedown. I believe if he went up against a Dagestani villain who shot for his legs, I don't think he's surviving that. I think if I tried to shoot a takedown on him, I could grab a hold of his back. I could get him in a body lock. And I'm not saying I'd take him down, but I think I'd survive from that position alone. I just don't think he could stuff a takedown. Robert Pattinson's Batman just doesn't give me those vibes. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, now, here are the Batmans I might actually have a chance of winning against. I'm not saying I would. I might, okay? Nolan's Batman from Dark Knight Rises, out of prime, 10 years removed from being Batman. Not just because he's old. Michael Keaton's Batman in The Flash was old as fuck. But you saw him. That dude's a straight up Superman. Nolan's Batman does not know how to fight. Look at this image. Can you tell me what's happening here? Bane has his arms like here, right here. He's not protecting his face. He's not even protecting his ribs and stomach or solar plexus region. I mean, okay, I guess you can't punch his solar plexus region if his hands are here, but still. Everything is open, and Batman's first move is... Bro, you can't fight. You don't need to do all that shit. In fact, doing this, while he's just doing this and standing there is expending energy. What are you doing? Now, Batman does just decide to hurl punches at him. Windmill, drunk at a bar level punches. No jabs, nothing. No fucking head kick when his head is wide open. Nothing. He has no boxing and no grappling. He has some knees. He has some Muay Thai clinch knees that he uses on Bane. Useless, fucking useless. They don't work. I guess you could say Bane is just that level of a guy where he's just durable enough to take him, but you know Bane has a mask on. Just fucking aim for the mask at all times. Why are you elbowing his arms in the first move, dumbass? Also, he has full mount on Bane here. Landing ground and pound. He gets reversed like this. And thrown. How do you don't have any hooks on his legs? You don't have any guard. You can't even get side control when he tries to. Bane doesn't need to actually use jujitsu to get out of this position. And yep, this dude Batman who's trained in multiple fight styles, trained by ninjas, has no technique. Gets headbutted and thrown off. You have him in full mount and you got reversed in 2 seconds. And Bane was not using jujitsu. He just threw you off. I don't care how strong Bane is. There are techniques to stop that. What the fuck am I witnessing right now? And the only reason Batman beat Bane in the rematch is because he was smart enough finally to use his freaking whatever those things on his arms are to cut Bane's mask. He was getting rocked and outboxed before that. The only reason he beat Bane is because Bane was his freaking mask was getting fried. The move he should have done in the first fight, if you had any fight IQ and saw that, okay, this guy has a mask on, why? It looks like it is helping him breathe, because logically, it looks like a mask that helps someone breathe. I'm cutting that shit. You have no fight IQ and no skill. I'm beating you in a fight. You can't fight, little bro. You can't fight. I'm sorry. I think I might just shoot a double leg on you and get it, because you have zero grappling. I believe I could actually pull a Khabib on this dude. I'm not saying I would. I'd get my ass whipped. I'm just saying, like, realistically, out of all of them, he's the one I most likely can have a Hamza Shemaya level performance against. You have no grappling. And by the way, I know I'm shitting on this Batman a lot. I love the Dark Knight trilogy more than anything. The Dark Knight's my favorite movie of all time. I'm just speaking real facts here, okay? He's not the worst. The worst is the one I'm knocking out. I knocked this Batman out in 1 round. The Batman from Gotham. We don't see a lot of him. Okay? We don't know his true feats. I get it. I'm not losing to someone who looks like this. What is this? This is the most auraless Batman I've ever seen in my life. Zero aura. I'm never losing to this guy. Never. And I know he's grown up in the scene, but you know when you can look at somebody and tell by their chin if you can knock him out or not? Some people just have a chin that you feel, yeah, he's not going to be able to stand a couple punches. I don't think I could knock Bale out. I don't think I could knock Affleck out. I don't think I can knock Pattinson out. George Clooney, I probably would. This dude, I know for sure. I have full confidence that if I was to land properly on him, I'd knock him the fuck out. I'm not losing to this Batman. I don't care. You can't convince me. If I saw this Batman on the street, I would literally run towards him, not run away. I would run away from every other Batman on this list, to be fair. Not him. I'm knocking this motherfucker out clean. 1 punch, 1 uppercut, flying knee, I don't care what it is. I'll throw a fucking 360 roundhouse kick to the dome and see if he can take it. And his suit looks like shit too, by the way. Now, this is a TV show, Batman Gotham TV show. I get it. I gotta understand completely. It's the Smallville of Batman. I'm beating you. Alright? That's it. If you want to know my thoughts on Christopher Nolan's Batman fighting style and why it looks like he can't fight, you can watch this video over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning.
We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.